Hello, YouTube. This is Jose Sports Talk, and I just want to make a quick video of the match FC Barcelona versus Mallorca. The game was kind of boring. Mallorca came out to defend. They really didn't come out to like play and try to score on Barcelona. Um, most teams, mostly smaller teams, park the bus against Barcelona. They're not trying to get scored on. I think the strategy is getting kind of played out now, where I feel like these smaller teams, like at first it was kind of working, where like they felt that they had a chance, but now that every small team in La Liga tries to sit back and park the bus on Barcelona, it doesn't seem like it makes a difference anymore. At first, Barcelona was struggling, and maybe towards the end of the match, they would you know get the win barely, but now it's to the point where like Barcelona has adjusted to these teams parking the bus. So now, even after parking the bus, Barcelona still scores 3 goals on the team that parks the bus, like today, like Mallorca. And I think that if that's the case, right, you know, if um, if you're parking a bus and you know you're still gonna lose, just go out and play. It doesn't make a difference, right? You're gonna lose 3-0 by parking the bus and playing horribly. Like, and not only because at the end of the day, this is a spectacle, right? You work all week, and then you wait for the weekend, and you're like excited to watch Barcelona play, against whatever team, whether it's Mallorca or against the bigger teams like Atletico or Real Madrid, right? But then the other team comes in and just wants to park the bus and not play, and I think that hurts the league and the team itself. Because at the end of the day, Barcelona is Barcelona, right? Everyone's gonna watch Barcelona. Barcelona is one of the biggest teams in the world, and you know they play this football that's really entertaining. So at the end of the day, everyone's gonna watch them, even if you're not a diehard fan of Barcelona. You're gonna try to tune in, at least watch the highlights, right? But when it comes to Mallorca, they're not a big team. They're a smaller club. Parking the bus. If I'm a young kid, or if I grew up in Spain, and I'm trying to pick a team, right? I'm not gonna pick Mallorca after. Let's say this was my first match watching Mallorca. I'm not gonna pick them as a team I want to follow, even if it was like my home team, my hometown team, or whatever, right? And I think that hurts the league, and I think that hurts the team as well. Because at the end of the day, you want to grow and make the league exciting, not just you know more like the Premier League, where like you got like a top six or a top like kind of eight teamish, where like you got Manchester United, you got Man City, you got Liverpool, you got Chelsea, you got Tottenham, you got Newcastle, you got what other teams do you have? Uh, I don't know what other big team there is. Um, no, I already said. But you got like a top six, all right. So you got these top six teams that could beat you, and then even like the top 10, even like 7, 8, 9, and 10, they still could beat you. And even the ones that are on the relegation zone, they could still beat you. It's a competitive league, right? And my bad, I didn't like. I thought the reflection was someone, like the reflection of the light of my earbuds was someone standing like at the door. But so I think that's how it should be with La Liga, where like every team, even if you're a Mallorca, you're going out there to try to win the match. And I don't know. That's just my thought, right? I just rambled on about that. I'm supposed to be talking about like the players and how the match went, but it's just a thought that I have that like kind of bothers me, because I feel that like teams like Mallorca or the smaller teams should like put up more of an effort to try to like win the matches, or try to be competitive to make it more entertaining. Because I'm waiting all weekend to see my favorite team play, and then you got another team that comes out and just parks the bus and doesn't do anything, and it's not fair, you know and especially I don't know how it is in other countries, but here in the states, I gotta pay for YouTube. I mean, not for YouTube. I gotta pay for ESPN. Like this price, for me to be able to watch it. The bundle with Disney and stuff like that. Um, and then I gotta pay which I don't pay. I gotta pay a subscription for like Premier League. Or I gotta pay a subscription to watch the Champions League. So it's not fair. That I gotta wait till the weekend. I'm excited for Saturday to come to watch this team play, and then you got Mallorca that parks the bus. And makes the game really boring and not entertaining. And even though Barcelona still got the win, we won 3-0. But anyways, the game was, for me, it was boring. Right? Maybe for someone else it was entertaining. For me, it was boring. Lewandowski scored. From like a from Rashford. He took a shot. It bounced off a player. It hit. I think it was Dani Olmo. I think it was Dani Olmo. It hit Dani Olmo and it fell on Lewandowski and he scored. That's good. Um, what else? I think Rashford had a good game. Rashford had a good game. He was going at it, going after it, trying to score, get an assist. He was trying to score a free kick. He's trying to do everything possible to to um to score. To do better. I think he had this hunger today to like do something. So that's nice to see that Rashford came out and was hungry and wanted to score some goals. Even though he didn't get it, we appreciate that he went out there and tried to do something. Especially now that Rafinha's injured, so we don't have to worry that without Rafinha we can't win. Rashford I think had a pretty good game, even without scoring. I think he had a solid game, which we're gonna keep needing that, and I hope that he's not injured because I know he got that knock from that. Like I think he was running, so like mid run his foot was like in the air and the ball hit his leg and it kind of like knocked his knee. So I hope he's not injured. Also, I think Lewandowski had a. I mean, he scored. I mean, that's his job. He scored. So I think other than that, I don't think he had an amazing game. The ball kind of with luck landed on his feet, which I mean, you're supposed to be there as a striker. He did his job. So I think he did good. Lamine Yamal, different. He's different, man. At his age, he's and not only like not only because of his age, but like if he was 21 and if he was doing the things he's doing now, he would still be really good. It's the fact that he's 18 and he's already having a better season than he had last year, and he was the second best player in the world last year. So I wonder what's going to happen this year because now this year he's being more consistent. He's scoring almost every game or assisting, and he's starting to get those goals in now, and I don't know. I just don't think that's normal. And I think we're getting too used to the fact that Lamine Yamal is this good and that he scores and he assists and he dribbles and he does all of this stuff, and we're not really appreciating and enjoying what he's doing on the field. Um, Everyone else in midfield was good. Uh, Defense, Gunde was terrible. I don't know what's happening with him. I don't know if it's because he plays so much because he plays so many minutes. I don't know if he's just his level just went down. Last year he was one of the best, right backs in the world. And this season, it seems like he can't be focused. Like he's not in the game. He's never in the game. So I don't know. Other than that, I think I don't. I didn't feel like Barcelona. The defense had much to do. I know Garcia got like a three good saves. That kind of saved us from them scoring one goal. Um, but good game overall. It's just that gripe I have that Barcelona, well, not Barcelona, Mallorca, or these smaller teams always come in and always just play to park the bus and don't play entertaining football, and you just sit there and like I said, like I know I'm repeating the same thing, but you're sitting there and you're trying to you're trying to enjoy a game, and you have a team that comes and just tries to not lose at any cost and just park the bus, which sucks. But other than that, Barcelona won. We got the 3 points. Um, we're at the top of the table still. So hopefully we keep this going, and we keep being solid, even if a team parks a bus, even if a team plays attacking football, whatever they try to do, we just keep getting our results, good results, and I hope we keep this up and to the end and win the league. Uh, I think we have Atletico de Madrid. I think it's Copa del Rey this upcoming week. I'm not sure. I think I'm right though. I hope that we come in prepared, we come in hungry, we don't come in complacent because I know that at the beginning of the season, it looked like Barcelona was pretty complacent. They won the La Liga, Super Copa de España, the Copa del Rey, and it kind of felt like they were this team that were above like the level that they were last year, so they didn't have to play as hard. So we won the Super Copa de España. And I hope we take this Copa del Rey seriously and we win that also, so we could also win this trophy again and take those 3 trophies home, which is, I'm not saying, well, here's my opinion. I don't think we'll do it because historically, like having a season, like I think people really under like estimate or don't take put that much attention to what Barcelona did. Winning a Supercopa, Copa del Rey, and La Liga in one season, it's a absurd and really good season. That's not normal, you know. Maybe like and even in Barcelona, like when MSN was around, you know, even some seasons they would just take La Liga and Copa del Rey or something like that, you know, and that was a really good season for them, and you know that's a legendary team. So for the fact that yeah, last season we took three trophies, even though you know we didn't win the Champions League, I think that was an amazing season, and if we could repeat that again and be consistent and keep doing that, I think that's awesome. The Champions League will come, you know. I think that this team needs adjustments, and I think we can't win the Champions League this season. We don't have a striker that's dangerous. You know, Lewandowski's older now. He's not a Haaland. You know, he's not a Mbappe. He's not a Kane right now. He's older, and you could tell. You could see the decline that he's having now. He's slower. His touches are heavy. He doesn't have that same killer instinct he had. You know, where he wanted to shoot every single ball and score everything. And I think that without a striker like that wants to just take every single ball and score it and score hat tricks and just this insane hunger to like score goals all the time, I don't think that we'll win a Champions League. And then we have Kunda, you know, that can't mark a, you know, that can't keep his mark, can't stay on his man, can't keep track of where his man is at, even against a Mallorca. No disrespect to Mallorca, you know, we need a solid right back, and then we need another center back that's also solid. You know, Garcia is really good. You know, we what Garcia is also doing. I think like I was talking about Lamine Yamal. I think what also like what Garcia is doing is something amazing. You know, he starts every game, almost every game, and but he can't do it on his own. You know, and I don't know. He's a good he's a good player. He's a good defender, but his best attributes are passing coming out, you know, passing coming out the back with the ball and passing and moving it forward. That's he has that vision from all the way from the back as a center back, and that's something you can't, you know, that's a priceless trait, you know. But we also need someone else beside him, a good partner that could also defend and make sure that the offside trap is always working and that everyone is organized and on their, you know, A game, which I think Inigo brought that with his leadership and experience and his age. And we don't have that anymore. We have a player like Araujo that with some criticism he like falters under pressure and wants to go on vacation for a month and like mid season, you know, talking about that he needs a break to like get better. You know, you're a professional. You're getting paid for this, right? You're making millions. You're not making like $30 an hour for this. You're making millions, and you can't handle a little criticism on Instagram or like on social media or whatever, you know. So I think that's another reason why we can't win the Champions League because we don't have that. We don't have a center back that's elite that could be a good partner for Cubarsí like Inigo was, and we don't have a elite like top like striker that's hungry to score and score and score. You know, Lewandowski is one of the best strikers of his generation, but like everything comes to an end, and it's I think it's you know it's coming to an end with Lewandowski, and I hope that next season, you know, I hope that we could win these trophies this season and get some new players in and improve this team, and maybe next year we'll win the Champions League or the year after that, you know, because I feel like it's gonna come. These players are too good to not win one, you know, and I think they're you know slowly gonna knock on the door and eventually win one, but it's just I don't know. I just think it's not the time. In my opinion, I could be wrong and we win it, but I highly doubt it. Just for those two factors, a center back and a striker, that's something important that every big team always has that has won the Champions League. You know, has had an elite striker. So I don't know. It is what it is, right? So I don't know. Those are my opinions. I know it's supposed to be like a match review, but I wanted to speak on that too as well because I think that is something that we don't touch on. So you know, it is what it is. Um, but I think that's the end of the video. So I'll see you guys next time in Jose Sports Talk, and thank you.